everybody, and welcome back. Hope you all had a very splendid week. We here at the house had a very rainy week. However, that did not stop us from getting a few things done and getting a few things home. So let's start off with a little bit of, shall we say, heavy bit of news. That being that I got myself two very large, very heavy Hall & Brown machines. Now you guys know what they say, when it rains, it pours, and with the way the weather has been this week, that's certainly true. But it's also been true of me being able to find and purchase Hall & Brown machines. I've been looking for things like this for 2 years, and I've purchased 4 in the last 2 weeks. One of which I still have to go get, but we'll get to that one when it comes. So the first one off the trailer here is a number 33 24-inch finishing planer. Here's what it looks like in the number 10 catalog, and here's Kim for scale. This particular machine has sat outside in the weather for many years and is therefore quite rusty and is actually seized, so none of the parts actually move, or very few of the parts move currently. But no worries, I have a solution for that we'll discuss later in the episode. It's also missing a few pieces, mostly the parts that allow it to work on line shaft. Of course, that's the common thing with most of these machines. All of those components that would run on the flat belt line shaft are usually missing because people run them off of electric motors, not off the antiquated line shaft. However, because most people took those things off, I should be able to find something around somewhere that should work as a replacement. And if you can believe it, this is actually the heaviest piece of equipment that I own. It weighs 1,925 pounds, or at least so says the catalog. Although technically mine is missing a few pieces, so let's subtract, 80 pounds from that. Still, it's heavy. It broke a bunch of carts getting it off the trailer, but super glad to have it home, and definitely is another project now that I have to work on, but it's a good one to have. So the next one off the trailer is a number 2 36-inch bandsaw. 36 inches referring to the size of the wheels. So there are 36-inch diameter wheels. I haven't actually measured how tall the machine is itself, but it's certainly over 9 feet tall. It's a big bandsaw. To prove my point, here's a Kim for scale. With how large this machine is, it actually weighs less than the planer somehow. This one only clocks in at 1,650 pounds. And here it is in the catalog to confirm that. The beauty of this machine is it actually runs the way it is. It actually came with some blades. I know the blades aren't on it right here in this shot. It runs off an electric engine. The parts that made it run on the line shaft system, or the old belt and pulley system, are no longer there. However, I should be able to find those. But I can use this the way it is right now, provided I get some 220 power ran to it. So, it would be nice to go ahead and put this thing back into use sooner than later. So that's the almost 2 tons worth of equipment I brought home this week. Big machines, but Hall & Brown made big machines. Now, I know from the last 2 weeks, this might seem like it's going to start becoming a regular occurrence, me finding these machines. But as I said, I was looking for 2 years, and these just happened to pop up. Same thing with the lathe I got from Patrick last week. It just happened to pop up. So there you go, guys. I am getting closer every day to having the essential tools to have my own workshop and more pieces of history for the house, because this house wouldn't exist without these tools. So there we have some of the work for the week, which was this amazing window here in the back. I was able finally to get the metal grate back in, which is super helpful. Because now I can take the sashes out because I know that window is now secure. Now I do wish I was able to do more on the exterior itself of the house, but again, the aforementioned rain put kind of a damper on that, unfortunately, as rain does tend to do with things. Now when putting the metal grate in, I did have a few problems. I did have a few scratches and scrape marks here and there. That's to be expected with things that do fit quite as tightly as this grate does. I mean, the windows and the grates are kind of made for each other. So it means a really tight, secure fit, but it does also mean they're a little bit of a pain to put it back into the window frame after they've been freshly painted. However, all in all, it does look much, much better than the cracking, crumbling paint, so I'm quite happy with it. Now, I did start on another project. However, I wasn't able to get a full handle on it this week. You're seeing what now is a little preview of it. I was trying to do some electrolysis, rust removal, on the plate from the planer. You can see here, this is the part of the machine that has the Holland Brown logo and everything on it. And it's actually quite a rare part for these planers to have at all. So it's something I want to get back to looking pretty good, and it's certainly something I don't want to leave out in the weather to get worse. However, I am still searching for one crucial component, which is a battery charger that will work for the setup I currently have. However, this coming week you can expect that as kind of like a little side project. Having a look into next week, it does seem like I will have a 3-day gap, a break in the rain, which means I should be able to get up in the lift, which is something I've been absolutely dying to do. So it's kind of a tricky thing. I'm trying to plan things around weather, and of course we're no longer in the dry summer months. We're getting into the rainy fall, which of course doesn't leave me as many windows as I would like to get the things I would like to get done. So that's going to be it for this episode, guys. I do hope you guys enjoyed. I know these weeks have been filled with more machines than work on the house, but it's certainly one of those take the opportunity when you have them sort of moments. These things don't come around every day. They don't come around very often. So I kind of have to strike when the iron is hot. Because of course I can't build a Holland Brown museum without Holland Brown machines. These big hunks of iron are part of the house's story. I can't wait till I have my shop up and running. Not only because it expands what I'm able to do, because I'll be able to share the history of the home in more than one way. And so when people come and visit this place, not only will they see the grandeur of the house and what it was like to be a Victorian living in a house such as this, they'll understand what it took, the men and the sweat and the iron that it took to put these houses together as well. So I think I have this perfect little opportunity to kind of show the dichotomy between the machines that it took to build a house like this and what it was like to live here as well. So I think it's a pretty cool little experience and one I don't think exists anywhere else. So guys, have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, and I will see you guys again next week. Have a wonderful one. Take care. Bye-bye.